I gotta live till the mic turns off, but now I'm here, I cannot go soft. I found myself when the rest got lost. I'll be the last one that they write off. I gotta live till the mic turns off, but now I'm here, I cannot go soft. I found myself when the rest got lost. I'll be the last one that they write off.
I know we're up and coming, but I feel as if we made it. Imagination is greater than public education. Quotations, I'm just saying.
Folks, welcome to a little special edition. I am here, and this is the first time anyone can really say this. I am here on graduation day with Dr. Eric Thomas. My man, thank you so much for hanging.
E.T.
What do we call you now?
E.T.
Doc E?
Just E.T. Doc E sounds too complicated. It might not be able to get it out. Thank God. I just thank God it's E.T. That's all. Yeah.
Wow. But, mate, for us, I'm a representative here of your students. We have been with you along this journey. Mate, on the day, is there any words that can sum up how it feels to fulfill the journey that's taken most of your adult life? Today's the day. Yeah. Tell us about your feelings here on today, when we're right in the middle of it.
It's crazy, man. It maybe take a couple days for it to sink in, but I say one thing, I feel like I could stop running. I felt like when I was a kid, when bad stuff would happen, I would just always run. I ran from home when I was 16. When I wasn't doing well in college, I ran. That's why it took me so long to finish. And so I feel like I could stop running. I feel like I did it. What I'm saying? What I wanted to accomplish in life, I did it. And that was to just finish, just to be a finisher, to be an executor. Being in business, how significant that is. And I think so many people who are watching me are good people, talented people, but they don't know how to execute. They don't know how to finish. And for some people, it's easy just because they started a history of that. I look at my wife and how she makes my kids go to school, make them graduate so they can, the process of finishing. But I left home so early that I just, being a 16-year-old, you do what you want to do when you want to do it. So when stuff is hard, you just don't do it, So didn't go to bed on time, didn't get up and go to school. It was a habit of just running. And today when I was sitting there, I was like, yo, I don't have to run no more. Like I'm an executor now. Yeah, crazy feeling.
I get the feeling that the running ain't going to stop for E.T.
No,
Maybe just a different type of running. Maybe now it's running towards the Nobel Peace Prize,
absolutely,
rather than running away from whatever that was.
And I talk about it in the gazelle lion, like for real. That's what the gazelle does. He's running from something, and the lion is running to something. And I'm sure they both have had some similar success. The fastest gazelle probably has not had to deal with the lion in the way the slowest gazelle, but still he's running from something, and there are people that's what we do. You run, I'm not gonna do this, I'm not gonna do that, and now it's like I'm a lion, I'm pursuing now. I'm not afraid, because that's what running is about. It's about this milestone or this challenge that's so gigantic that you get overwhelmed. And that's how I was. I left home, like I felt overwhelmed. Like, okay, I left school, I was in college, and I'll never forget they gave me the letter. I ran, like, I can't do this, it's just too much. So I think for people who don't understand what I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. If you've ever faced something that just felt so overwhelming, and you just like, I just don't have what it takes. What I'm saying? I can't do that. And so you just say, I surrender. And that's what I used to do. When I saw a challenge that was grand, I would just say, there's no way for me to do this. Now I say, I can do this, and it might require the help of others. I may have to network, I may have to be vulnerable and show that I'm weak in some areas. I may have to get people who are strong in certain areas to assist me, but I'm not running no more. Like I'm not going to keep looking, because when you run, Glenn, you got to see it again. It might be 5 years down the line, 10 years, but you got to see that thing that you run from. You have to face it again. So for me, I just kind of felt like David and Goliath. Like I slayed that giant today, and I will never see that giant again. I will never have to face that giant again, because I faced it head on, and was able to conquer it. So yeah, I guess that's how I'm feeling. Yeah.
Awesome, mate. Well, we talked. I love how you're so open with us as your audience. It's like we live this journey, and it is interesting that even some of us, we got a sense that after a few mixtapes and a few TGIMs and Breathe University episodes, and in all this Eric merchandise and whatever you might call them, volumes, lessons. The words, and I'm just a dissertation away from my PhD, became a little more, there was a few too many of them, and it was one of your guys that said to you, "Hey, I'm not doing anything else until you get this thing." So you knuckled down. Tell us about how, what it was feeling like when you were in the grind of doing all of your business, but there was one thing left undone that you've now accomplished. Tell us about this last 6 months, and really what changed 6-8 months ago or a year ago when you went from being, in your mind, a dissertation away from your PhD to hell with this is happening.
Yeah, I think, man, it's tough, man. It's like, and you've had this experience sending your kids to school. You know you gotta do it, but they've been with you for the last 5 years. Like nobody else has been, like your care has primarily been them, and then you drop them off, and it's like, and that's what I felt like. I felt like I was abandoned. Like the first time you drop your kid off, it's the abandonment boy. Yeah. It's the, you're like, whoa, are they gonna take care of my child like I take care of my child? And I think that's what was hard for me. I could have been got the PhD, but I felt like I was abandoning the world, not doing mixtapes, so it's like, how do you stop taking care of people and looking out for people to look out for yourself when you look out for people? That's a hard thing to do. It's like, because it's about to be about self. Yeah. However long this thing takes me, I'm not about to be on the phone talking to people. I'm not going to be making as many visits. I'm not going to be able to give you E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher the way I've done before. Yeah. So now I got to cut y'all off. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, you got people like me saying, "E, you got to come to Australia.
Right.
You got to come to all over the world," and you had to say no for a period of time.
Yeah, and it was hard. I got schools. Oh, you talk about Mobile Peace Pride. You talk about you love people and care for people. You being selfish. You know what I'm saying? And so that was hard for me. I'm a shepherd. So leaving the sheep for a year in the hands of another shepherd, like that's hard. So I'm thinking there's kids out there for real who like, "E, I can't go without you." And I know in my heart, it's going to be some casualties. I'm going for a year. I don't care. I don't care about me getting a degree. There are some kids whose schools I didn't get to go to, who I know their life would have been changed had I got to that school. Some prisons. I didn't make it to that prison because I had to. And so I had to just really buckle down and realize, yo, E, you can keep doing what you're doing, and it's going to be a blessing. But if you sacrifice and get that degree, man, you won't be able to count the blessings. It reminds me of Maxwell when he talks about, when you get followers, you add, but when you get leaders, you multiply. And so it was kind of like, yo, E, you can continue to add to people's lives, or you can get this PhD and multiply. So I can't sit here and make it like, I didn't do it because I didn't want to study or I didn't want to write. That wasn't the case. At my heart of hearts was, I'm about to have to cut my wife off. Like, I've done this before. This ain't the first time I've done a milestone. And milestones mean you got to cut people off. No more movies like we normally do it. Can't make all the church events. Can't be there for everything my kids are doing. And so I had to make that sacrifice, though, hoping that if I get it, in the end, it is going to be better for everybody.
Wow. Well, you talk about milestones, and I love that this year, for you and for us as your students, it's the year of execution. It's the year of getting things done. I mean, I've been inspired by that. I mean, some of my guys have seen some of the crazy stuff we've pulled off this year. And it's all been inspired by that mindset of doing. So give some of the guys, because you've got so many of your fans in Australia and around the world that have seen E.T. talk about vision boards, talk about setting goals, talk about focusing on goals and all that sort of thing. And lately it's been, shut down all that stuff, put the vision board away, and let's focus on milestones, implementing and getting it done. So give some of you guys maybe a little bit of an update on how that's shifted for this year of the year of getting it done.
Yeah, because I just feel like it's too many people, like, they worshiping not vision boards. You know what I'm saying? Like, a vision board is not something you're really supposed to talk about like that. Like, a vision board is something you're supposed to do on your own, but a vision board is not the focal point. And they're making the vision board the focal point. They're making the goal the focal point. So I was telling the kid that I love yesterday, I'm like, look, I love you, but here's the deal. If I tell you to drive 6 hours for me and drop something off, and you drive 6 hours, and you get in the trunk and realize you didn't bring the thing I asked you to drop off, I can't give you credit for driving 6 hours. Like, I can't give you credit for an attempt. I can't give you credit for effort. Now, effort is a great thing, but only great if you execute. It means nothing. So you drove 6 there, you drove 6 back. What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to be happy that, or at least you drove, but you forgot you forgot the main thing, and that was to drop this document off so we could take care of X, Y, and Z. So I'm just saying to my fans out there, like you gotta understand that if you do not execute, you wasted everything. You wasted money, time, energy, you wasted everything. So I'm saying you gotta execute, because if we could put the goal on execution, then I know for sure your vision board is gonna be good. The time you spent, the money you invest, all that's gonna be good if you execute. But if you don't execute, we won't know who you are. I don't know who Sam Bowie is. Like, I know who he is, but most kids don't know who Sam Bowie is. And they don't know that Sam Bowie got drafted over Michael Jordan. But you don't know Sam Bowie because he did not execute.
Once he was there.
He got drafted number 1, Portland Trailblazers. He didn't do nothing. You know who Michael Jordan is, not because you know who Michael Jordan is. You don't know Michael Jordan because you know Michael Jordan. You don't know his family. You don't know him. That's right. But you know Michael Jordan because he won 6 NBA titles. He executed. And so I'm just saying, if you want to be, immortalized, whatever that means in your business, or, you want people to respect you in your business, they're not going to respect you because you tried, because you made an attempt. They're only going to respect you when you get it done.
Wow. Absolutely, mate. I love it. And I love the shift in what you've done for me, because it was really, I can take the sliding door moment of when we first did our first event, that's when Glenn Twiddle's business probably went from either good to great or great to phenomenal. Because where it is right now, look, I love where I'm at right now, but I know there's still some air up there.
Still some air up there, baby. Still some air up there, baby. I love it.
Now, back at home, there's an ongoing debate between people, primarily on social media. So one of the things I like, you say, shut that off. But the ongoing debate is about work-life balance, and about, like there are some people that are, like some of my students who are choosing to be up early, that are choosing to work long, stay late, and give everything they've got for their achievement of their successes. And so there are people that are sort of criticizing those guys, and there are people who are, saying that you can't, very successful people who are saying you can't get where you want unless you've got balance. So from someone who's really an authority on grinding, on hard work, but who on the same time can be at every game, be so in touch with your family, what's your position, I suppose, on that debate, if you've got one?
Yeah, I think if you're great, man, you're not, I always talk about triple-double in basketball, which just means, in 3 different areas, you're dominating. So I look at people who are either extreme as good. You're not great until you can do both phenomenally. You know what I'm saying? Like if all you can do is go to work and put in hours and, and make good money, but your family can't stand your guts, or if you're the dude that's putting in for your family, but you're not able to take care of your family, you're good at what you do. You're not great. You're not phenomenal. So for me, there is this fusion between the two. I always tell people, my wife is my priority. She's not first. Because depending on what the day is, like today, I didn't see my wife all day. So she's not number 1. She didn't get to go to my early graduation. I only had 2 tickets. That was my mom and my dad. So my wife felt some kind of way about it, which is why I had to take my parents home, go in there for a minute with my wife, give her 5-10, like, I love you, ain't nothing perfect. But my wife was hurt. But I had to choose between my mom, I only got 2 tickets. And I didn't even go with the hook up Glenn on the just come and we're going to work something out. And I can do that. I'm that guy that just come, sweetie, get dressed, I'll finagle something. I didn't feel like finagling the other day. I'm like, I'm graduating. I don't want to be in that role right now. I don't want to have to, do that. I just want to graduate, and I want to be there with my mom and dad, take pictures with them, introduce them. So to me, my wife's not number 1. She's my priority, right? So that means some days I might have to go and work 3 or 4 days, and I have to put her to the side. But trust me, I'm working 3 or 4 days for us. So I'm not going to be working 4 years grinding. I have it in my mind. You got 7 days. You go in. My wife know. My daughter know. Everybody know. I'm going in. I got to write this book. I'm going in. But at the end of the book, when we start making that money, we
all spend it.
We all spend it. We all getting on a flight, right? And we hitting Sydney. We hitting Melbourne, Brisbane. You feel what I'm saying? We making it happen. So, you're sacrificing, but you're going to get the car paid for, kids going to school for free. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to work if you don't want to. If you want to, you understand what I'm saying? So I would just say those people who are grind, it has to have an endpoint. You play a 7-game series. You don't play a 100-game series. A 7-game series is the best out of the best, first to get to 4. And so when you're grinding, you have to say, this is for my wife, or this is for my children, this is for my family, this is for my friends, and I'm going to go in for a month. I'm going to go in for 6 months. And then you know in that period, all right, when I come out, I'm going into a month with just us. So when we go to Australia, that's it. I'm not going to be writing books. Yep. I'm not going to be reading books. When we get in that plane, I'm going to be sitting next to her. We're going to be talking, kicking it, playing. I'm going to kill her at Uno. I'm going to get to 500 before her. I'm going to kill her like as many times as I can before we land. And so there has to be this fusion that they are one and the same. And when you start making this the focus and this the focus, that's how you get messed up. But it's one. It's not you just go to school. Yeah, you graduate. You know, you get a 2-year, a 4-year, a master's. There are levels to this. So I just believe there's a fusion. So I didn't give my wife a lot. Told my parents goodbye, gave her about 5. Where you going? You got to go somewhere else. And I'm like, I do. I do have to go somewhere else, but I'll be back, and we'll do this and we'll do that. But on Tuesday, nobody knows, but we're going up north, Traverse City, and for 4 straight days, I'm shutting everybody off, and I'm giving my wife her time. So it's a fine line. It is. It's a fine line, but I just believe that if it's important to you, again, execution. You will. E.T., how am I gonna do it? When you're great at something, I don't always have the answers for you, but when it's important to you, you get it done. When it's not important to you, you find an excuse.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. So, just in finalising, mate, just as sort of a last word to our peeps.
I love it too, mate. I love it. I love it. I'm a mate. I love it.
So, mate, what?
Yeah, I love it. I'm a mate. I love it. I love it. So don't stop.
So what's the next milestone, mate? What's PH.D. That's done. Yeah. You know, as of this afternoon, in a few short hours, you've had one little graduation this morning. The big one is in a couple hours from now. What's the next one? What's the next
Nobel Peace Prize.
Wow. So you're just a little goal.
Yeah, just a little small one. You know what I'm saying? Just got a couple more years, right? I just feel like, for real, man, that time frame that I left the people, it made me hungrier. You know, it's like, I'm getting up to morning, 3 o'clock. I got people just texting me, congratulations, boom, hitting them back. People on Facebook, you know, my battery went dead, but I'm trying to hit everybody. Like, I don't want anybody to feel like you're not important to me. So I'm boom, boom, boom. So for me, man, I want to hit as many people, change as many lives. And as a matter of fact, when we were at the graduation, I did my thing and I said, y'all got next.
Oh yeah, what do you got on under there? So, you got a suit on under there or something?
A little shirt and a tie. A little ETA shirt and a tie, baby. You know we can't go nowhere without the shirt and the tie. So I told them, man, I said, yo, y'all got next. Like, this is not about ET. And the sweetest part, Glenn, in the graduation, you know, you got all these people with these accolades. They graduated from their school before they came to Michigan State, and they said about me, and I don't know the equivalent back at home. Notice I said home because we coming to, my ultimate goal is to leave here and move to Australia. I just want to be somewhere with no guns. I just want to feel safe, you know, when I walk up and down the street. Don't show this to the Americans, please. He said, prior to E.T. getting his PhD, he got his GED. You know, and you hear everybody in the rooms like, oh. So people will come to me afterwards like, congratulations, what a role model. So
that, you know, the equivalent is like a government kind of assisted scheme to get you in? Is that what that is?
Well, it's like you didn't graduate normally. Yeah. Like you didn't go to school and graduate, so you have to go and take this test that would be equivalent to, like, you know, everything from kindergarten to 12th grade.
To get in, yeah.
And so that's how I got into the university, the uni. That's like that. The uni, baby. The university.
So we'll have him all lingoed up.
Oh, no doubt. The uni, baby. Yeah.
Wow, very cool. So, guys, how you feeling? Coming back down under a couple of months?
Man, let me tell you something. Like I just said, of course we coming back, but I long for the day when we can come and be there, you know, for a while. I would love to study there, you know, maybe teach a course or two. Where did we go when we were there? What university did we go to?
Oh, what are we going to?
No, we went to a university when we were there. We spoke at the university. There was we didn't speak there, but they gave us a room, and we had an opportunity to speak there.
It was in Sydney.
It was in Sydney.
Oh, okay, yeah,
It was a major university in Sydney. So yeah, just I would love to, like, hopefully my family's coming this time.
Yeah.
So I would love for them to, you know, it's hard when you come home and explain what it's like.
Yep.
And people haven't been there, you know, but I want my family to be in Melbourne and see what it was like, be in Sydney and get on that boat with us, you know, and look at the opera, like, right there. Like, you don't have to, it's there, you know. So I want my daughter at 17 to see it, my son at 19 to experience it. So we definitely coming, and yeah, we coming down under, baby. We coming to
He's
the
coming back.
land down under, baby.
Very cool. All right, folks, I'm very honoured to have been one of the first interviews to interview
The first.
Dr.
The first. Yeah.
Little old Glenn from down under, huh?
Little old E. Little old mate.
Folks, Glenn Twiddle signing off from here in Michigan, just down the road from Michigan State, the site of the graduation. How many years did it take from GED to PhD? How many years is that? Is that like 20-something years?
Yeah, well, I was 19 when I got, so 20, 24, about 25.
Wow, a quarter of a century, man.
We can do our math, though.
Yeah, we
got it. Yeah, we got that math
Dr.
down.
Thomas has
Yeah,
got
it's that writing I struggle with. That math down back, man.
Oh, very good. Guys, signing off. We're going to see this man graduate. See you next time.
I gotta live till the mic turns off, but now I'm here, I cannot go soft. I found myself when the rest got lost. I'll be the last one that they write off. I gotta live till the mic turns off, but now I'm here, I cannot go soft. I found myself when the rest got lost. I'll be the last one that they write off.